Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to first apologize to everybody. I was having some technical difficulties. As you know, with technology, when you think you got it right, you don't have it right. So I want to say happy holidays to everybody. So this is the second episode. As you guys know, I don't do it alone, so I want to introduce my panel to you guys. So I want to introduce you to Shay. She's the lash extensionist, hair guru. When I say every woman, that's Shay. So welcome, Shay, everybody. What's up, baby? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All righty. So when I say that my next co-host, she travels more than Spirit Airlines, Delta Airlines, and JetBlue put together. Man, I'm telling you, I know her frequent flyer miles is everything. Let's welcome Sheena. What's up, mama? What's going on?
Hello. So good to see y'all.
Likewise, I had to book you
Good to see
3 weeks
you
in advance.
Whatever. Don't even try it.
right.
When I say my next co-host is the man, it's the myth, it's the legend, it's Mr. Gio.
Oh yeah.
What's up, brother? What's going on with you? Hey,
What's going on? How's everybody?
what's going on? How everybody feeling tonight?
Good. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Life
That's
is
what's
good.
up. What you
It's
guys
cold
drinking on?
outside.
Is it?
Baby, it's cold.
Right? It is.
What y'all drinking on tonight?
I'm pretty boring.
Yeah, I'm doing the water too.
Yeah.
I'm done.
It's gonna be a good show then.
Hey, when I say this is a red cup type of night, it's a red cup type of night. I don't think people have an idea how much goes into putting on everything. And yeah. So guys, so tonight's show is the importance of finances in a relationship. But before we actually dive into that, I want to ask everybody about the holidays. Is everybody finished shopping?
Crickets.
Oh,
Well, I didn't really do a whole lot of shopping. I bought some gift cards, and
Okay.
that's all I'm gonna do is pass out some gift cards. But I didn't like go into stores or anything like that. It wasn't, and it's not that kind of year for me. I didn't even put any decorations up this year. And you know, I have a Christmas tree in my bedroom and everything.
Easy.
right.
Just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
What about you, Shay?
I actually don't really celebrate Christmas like that. It's more so about the family being with them. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but years ago, I really put into my mind that I didn't want to invest money in Christmas versus to just spending time with my family and friends. And plus, my partner and I are finally relocating. We just officially found a place today that we was
Hey,
expecting to.
congratulations.
Oh,
Hey.
We're
excited.
moving on the
Congrats.
first. So I definitely don't really care about any gifts.
Right. So that's Christmas for you guys then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
So
good.
yeah, that's it for me.
What's going on with you, Gio?
A little Amazon shopping. Online is the way to go nowadays. Just going in the stores is crazy madness. Like people trying to run you over with their carts. It's too much. So
Absolutely.
online for me.
That's
And
what's
it's still a
up.
pandemic. Through
Right.
it all, right?
That too.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, I go all the way out for Christmas. When I tell you, I haven't put up now one decorations, anything. I wasn't really in a Christmas spirit. Um, I don't know. I'm not depressed or anything. I just couldn't get with it this year. But I am gonna go out and get the little ones, my nephew, some stuff, and that's about it. I think for the most part, I'm just maybe next year. The good thing about it is that I'm single, so I'm saving money. So
I like that.
hey, so don't cry for me, Argentina.
I love it.
So
That's
listen.
funny. Yeah.
So since we're talking about finances, I kind of want to jump into something real quick. Um, so holidays is a time where people are festive and people spend money. As it relates to having a partner or being in a relationship, when you buying gifts, is that something that's talked about, like the amount you're going to spend? Do you think that getting gifts too soon? I'm like, how do you guys go about doing that? If you're in a relationship, what is too much to spend on a gift? Do it depends on the length of the relationship? Is it talked about like, babe, are we spending 500? Are we spending 100? How does that work? Sheena, go ahead.
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess in the past, the relationship for me has been gifting all year round. So I don't really have to say, oh, what am I getting for Christmas? Or what do you want for Christmas? Like I said, my last relationship, it was long distance. And so I would do things like pay for him to go to a massage. I would type in his zip code and I would say, hey, what are you doing at 5? Okay, you're set up for it. And her name is Sheila, like that. So it's a little bit different. I think it all depends on how, like you say, Shay, what it means to you. Some people don't really celebrate. It's not a big deal to some people. Christmas is not a big deal for me, but my birthday, yes. So Christmas gifts is kind of, I don't know, kind of play it by ear kind of thing, or kind of, especially if it's somebody that already has everything. Like, what do you get a man that has everything? So I don't know, so just kind of play it by ear, see what he might ask of or what he speak about or something like that.
Cool. Shay, what about you?
Definitely not a topic of conversation. I think gift giving is that thing where you give what you give, and like Sheena said, if you give it all year round and you go get me bubble bath, I'm not going to be upset if that's a Christmas gift, because I know if you bought me bracelets and necklaces and earrings, and you've gotten my car cleaned every other weekend. Right. So I'm not going to really dwell on you bought me a candle for Christmas, and what do you get a girl who has everything? So, I definitely, in my house, I only can speak for that home. We definitely don't talk about amounts and cap offs or minimum or maximums. You get what you get, and we're both happy and pleased with it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Jill, what about you?
Same. Like, there's never been any amounts or like, we got to match gift for gift. It's just kind of been, what if I see something that I think you'll like, I'm just going to get it for you, and that's all year round. It doesn't have to be Christmas, but holidays, if I want to get you something, I want to make sure something you want, it's going to make you happy. I'm not looking for anything in return when I do that either. It's not like, oh, I spent this much on you, you got to spend that on me. Because, people make it up in other ways throughout the year. So I never hold Christmas, as the accountable factor as somebody cares about me. I think the only thing that does matter, just keeping 100, is that you do want to see some effort. If you did a little something, like, I want to know that you thought of me in some way. If I got you something like, at least, hey, here's a remote, whatever. Like,
right? Not a remote.
Yeah, I just grabbed what was on my desk.
It's the thought that count, right?
Yeah, it's the thought. I want to be in there somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's not about the price. It's about the thought and the effort. So
yes,
absolutely.
That's my answer.
All right.
KJ,
so I'm a little different. So I think it depends on the length of time we're together. So if it's something fresh and new, don't think I'm about to go out and buy you some Gucci shoes and Louis Vuitton. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be something. Huh?
Why not?
I'm just not. I'm very strategic when it comes to this. Now, if we've been together and it's been, we've been together for a minute, and then I feel like it's no limit, regardless, yes, I am doing what I'm supposed to do throughout the year. However, I want to do a little extra because this is Christmas. And even though Christmas is not about gift giving, I'm still going to be extra because this is Christmas and it's the season to give. You know what I mean? But I also do believe that it depends on the amount of time you with that person. Now, if we just been dating for 4 weeks and I like you, I don't think I'm about to ride up with a Maserati.
Right, you might get a coach ride in the sun. Yeah.
Not even that. You might get
an outlet. No.
You might get.
Ain't nothing wrong with the outlet. Now leave the outlet alone.
I'm not knocking it.
I love the
You'll get something nice because that's just how I am. I don't, shortchange people, but I do believe that it's about the length of time that you with somebody. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And I could spend 500, and if you spend 50, I'm okay with that. I don't think it should be about tit for tat. It's just the thought that count about that.
Now, are you really okay with 50? Let's talk about this off camera.
Yeah, I would love to see that in action. I would love to see the gift. He receives it, it opens, and
me
a pair of socks.
When I say me too.
Okay, so maybe 200.
We want to play that snippet on the show, okay?
Right? Now, maybe if I spend 5, and you spent $2, now $50, I'm gonna be like, Oh yeah, we no longer talking. I'm actually going to my
Exactly.
phone,
Okay.
block, social media block. No, I'm not that petty, but yeah, I would expect for you to do the same. Same. I don't expect for you to do the same as I do, but I expect for you to put some thought in it. Um,
Absolutely.
so let me ask you guys this: I'm not a gift card guy. I like to surprise people with gifts. I think gift cards is good, but for me, it's more the kind of like insensitive type thing. Tell me if you are more of a gift card type person or a gift type person. Sheena, talk to me.
So when I this year I bought $400 in gift cards, and I'm just going to give them away. And I did the same thing last year. I hosted a Christmas party of 8 people here, and I get everybody left with all types of stuff. I paid like I had like $700 in gift cards, all type of gifts. Everybody left with at least $50 worth of stuff. Um, I heard some people left with more than $100 worth of stuff,
So
but
wait, is it safe to say that we coming to your house this year?
no, because I'm gonna be out of town for Christmas. I
See,
didn't
I
do
told you
anything this
she be going
year.
more than Sprint and Delta put together. I told you.
Talking about Sprint Spirit. Yeah,
A
no, no,
spirit.
no. Yeah, no, but I just didn't.
It's
I
the
just
boss.
wasn't in the mood. But I actually do like to shop and buy people things that I know that they would like. But it's been a different couple years during the pandemic. Haven't been. I normally love the Christmas music all through the stores, all that stuff. I just haven't been in the mood. So it's been gift cards for a couple years. But I do like to personalize things for people.
Okay. Shay, what about you? Are you more of a gift card type person or are you more of a gift person?
I'm definitely give. I think there's no effort in gift cards, and no shade to you. I think there's zero authenticness to it. So I like to get the gifts and them be surprised. But it goes back to who you know. Like if I was inviting Sheena and Gio to a Christmas gift, I'm sorry, a Christmas party. Of course, I don't know what you guys like technically, so I would probably have gift cards stand by, but I would still have gifts like candles or things that's unisex. But as far as me go, FYI, Sheena, I like gifts. Okay.
But I like
She
the
said you
gift
better
gifts.
think
It's just
about it.
been different for the
I
last couple of
know.
years. But I just want to make sure people still know that they're thought of, even if it's just a gift card. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Gift cards is always a go to when you don't know what to get. Give
Gift
them
cards.
$100 and they good with
I'm
it.
cool with that too. $100. Yeah. Gio, what are you?
yep.
Uh, it's tough sometimes to buy for people, because you don't want to disappoint them and get them something that they don't really want, or they're just saying, "Oh, thank you," but they really like, "What the fuck is this?" Like you don't know exactly what to get them. So I have done gift cards in the past if I just am clueless about it. But when I can, it's good when somebody knows what they like, and then you can kind of focus on those things. But there are people out there who just don't know what the hell they like, and they're just like, I don't know. Like I'm a tough person to buy for because I pretty much have everything that I want. So it's hard to really know what to get me. So I know people have struggled with that in the past, like trying to figure out things. But I'm grateful for whatever. So gift cards, bring them. But but yeah, if I can, I will definitely get you something. Like I've had things made custom. That's another way to get somebody something that maybe they didn't know they wanted or needed. Finding something custom on like Etsy or something like that is a good
Love
way
it.
to shop for somebody. So yeah. KJ,
Sounds
what
good.
about you?
Sounds good. So I want to apologize. I think my computer or something is really really laggy right now. So I want to apologize to the viewers. My system is really laggy, but it's okay. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna keep going with the show. For
Yeah, we can hear you.
me, I'm more of a gift type of person. I really really put thought into it. However, it just depends on the individual. I do think that gift cards is warranted. Just depends on the person. Like if I was to buy Sheena something, hmm, I know what to get her. I would be. I think I would be confident in getting her something. If I was to get Shay something, I'll be confident in getting her something. Gio, you get a Mastercard gift card.
And baby, I will
Ain't
take
that
it.
something?
I will take it. Swipe.
Listen, it would be enough on there where you could buy some stuff, but it's kind of like for me, I'm a cologne connoisseur. So as long as you buy the cologne that I like, I'm a cologne guy. Now there has been times where people bought me a gift and they actually purchased me some cologne, and I'm like, why in the hell would you buy me Brute? Well, who the fuck wear Brute? You know, I'm like, damn, you could at least got me a gift card or ask me what type of cologne that I wear instead of buying me some Brute. And now I'm in a CVS trying to return it and go get something else.
Yeah, you got
That's why y'all not
you got the
together.
whole get value gift
So
card.
is it where it came from? Is that the issue?
I'm sorry.
Is it where it came from? Is that the issue?
No, it's not the Brute. My grandfather, I don't think if my grandfather was living, he would wear Brute. Brute is so old.
But it's the thought that counts, right?
Allegedly.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
But at least you got to put some thoughtfulness into it too.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go, mama. There you go. Put some thoughtfulness in it.
I
All right,
thought
y'all.
this.
So now we about to dive into the big stuff, right? The topic for tonight is the importance of finance in a relationship. So, as you guys know, it is finance is important in any capacity of the life, especially a relationship. Finances can also break a relationship up. I seen it firsthand. Um, but before we actually dive into that, let's talk about financial literacy, right? For me, growing up, I can honestly say, my parents died at a young age. I mean, I was young when my parents died. However, I think the people that raised me, my grandfather, my grandmother and grandfather, my aunt, and my sister Larice did a phenomenal job raising me. However, I do feel like that financial literacy was something that I wasn't taught.
Mhm.
So for me, I had to learn the hard way, which means that I learned via trial and error. And so that's one part I didn't know about. So in my 20s, I've always been on my own since I was 20, 21. But because I didn't have that financial literacy and importance of credit and money, I put myself in a rut and I had to file bankruptcy. Since then, to this day, I'm very fine. I'm able to do as I please, what I want to, and everything, and it feel really good. So before we actually dive into the topic of finances in a relationship, tell me, did you guys know about financial literacy growing up or what? Go ahead, Sheena.
Definitely wasn't something that was taught in the school system.
Hmm.
I know we'd be much better off if it was, but it's been trial and error. Just learning as you go and growing as you learn.
Okay.
So
What about in a household? Was that something? I know your mama loved your
she did
mom. She's
everything with
amazing.
cash. No, no help, no help for me.
So she didn't talk about
Everything with
credit.
that was about cash. No credit. What? No, absolutely not.
Right.
Oh, no,
Shade about you.
something that
Did
I
you
had to
grow up
learn.
with talking about financial literacy in the household?
Not at all. It was church. Don't get pregnant by a guy and marry a man and have babies and have kids and love the Lord.
Right?
Okay.
Amen.
Okay.
My God.
So, Gio, talk to me. Was financial literacy talked about in your household?
Not at all. Not at all. I don't think we ever really had a discussion about it. My mother pretty much raised me, so she was the only one, and she worked and paid the bills, and that was it. I didn't really learn about it until later on in life, and of course, like everyone, I made mistakes and had the credit cards and all that kind of stuff, and didn't really care about credit scores. I'll just pay for it with cash, that kind of mentality. And it wasn't until later on that like those numbers really became important. And now I'm like looking at my credit report, like Credit Karma's going off all the time. Like any changes, I'm like, what's going on? What's up? What happened? So no, it definitely wasn't taught in my household. So
Okay.
I definitely think I was a disadvantage for that too, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I must say that you know, trial and error is not bad. That's how we learn. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think that school systems need to implement some type of financial literacy so that um sorry guys. I'm so sorry about that. I do believe that school systems should implement some type of financial literacy so that kids can kind of know the importance of credit and the importance of saving, etc. Um, I do believe that as a kid, it wasn't talked about because they didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you teach somebody something if you don't know nothing about it? So going forward, I tell the people under me, like my nieces, nephews, or cousins, listen, if I can save you from making the same mistakes that I did, this is what you should do. This is how a credit card is used. This is how it is. So it took me a minute to get it, but I'm glad I've got it, and I'm able to do what I want to do at this particular time. Um, so let me ask you guys this: have you guys ever dated someone who did not have, who wasn't financially savvy? When I say that, mean they can make a lot of money, but maybe they just did not. I know a lot of people that make a lot of money, but they still live check to check. Could you deal with somebody who just not financially savvy, or what? Sheena, talk to me.
At this age, absolutely not. It's not even an option because it's
Okay.
very important, you know.
Okay.
And like you say, you can make decent money and still not be able to make an impact in your life if you don't know what to do with it. Some people don't even understand that you shouldn't have all of your money in a bank account. You know, some people think you can have a savings or a banking account. You don't make any money that way. Like, it's okay to have 6 months to a year of bills worth of bills, and any other money you should probably reinvest it or invest, or you want to make sure your money is making money somewhere, not just sitting in your account. But those are things that you learn along the way. But at this age, somebody financially stable, I wouldn't be able to do it. It's too difficult. It's too much. Groceries are so high now. It's cheaper to eat to go to Wendy's than it is to grocery shop now, and that's
Which is so
sad.
sad.
I don't
Yeah.
like to hear it. I be stressed out sometimes because I love to cook, but yeah, it wouldn't even be an option, Kevin.
Okay. Shay, what about you?
I'm a little different, and I say that because people sometimes don't have the
Know it
support
all.
to
Okay.
understand what being financially stable is. And
Mm-hmm.
even at this age, I've met individuals that where I have said things like, "You have to keep 30% of your balance on your credit card," and they was like, "What?" Like they never heard that before. So I think it really goes back to how you were raised. And it's a lot of people that just did not get the understanding of credit and how so important it is. So it depends on where they are, if they're willing to accept the training or accept the suggestions. Now, if they're completely against the suggestions, then yes, I'm good. But I don't think you're ever too old to learn. So I don't think that, what I'm saying, like I would be like, okay, I'm not talking to you because you're not financially stable. It just depends on where you are with it. When I come to you and I say, hey, you're kind of like using too much of your credit card. You probably should leave this much on it. And then they say, wow, I didn't know. That means that you're educating them. You can still date them, and then they'll be eventually financially stable. And I know some people don't want to do the whole teaching, but it just depends on where they are in life. That's all.
Okay. Geo.
I agree with Shay 100%. As much as we would like people to be on top of their game and, managing all their stocks and portfolios and all that stuff, not everybody's that savvy about things like that. And so I think, what Shay's saying is like, as long as they're teachable, coachable, like I would work with that for sure. And as long as, they make enough money to pay their bills and, all those kind of things, we're not dealing with those kind of issues. It's maybe more of just spending habits and, learning to tweak things here and there. I could work with that. You don't have to have, all the shit together. Like we can grow in that place together. As long as, like I said, they're coachable. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably did come off a little bit harsh, but
It's all right.
But this is where I
I
am.
guess it
And
depends on where
it
we
is
are
what it
in our
is.
relationship. But I don't want to feel like I'm nobody's mama either.
I feel you.
I feel like sometimes some things at a certain age you should have acquired some type of information to know these things. So I take some of that back, but for the most part, I ain't with it. Okay.
I get it. Statistically speaking, I did a study. 40 at 40, you're not able to be taught certain things
I think so.
but you're kind of like stuck in your ways, because I do a lot of coaching at my organization, and statistically speaking, studies show that by the time a person has reached 40, they're unable to be trained. But I don't necessarily 100% agree with that,
Yeah.
because it really just depends on the background of the individual, if you can really coach and develop them in the way that they need to be coached or developed. And it really depends on the topic too, or the category.
Okay. You know, I'm kind of straddling the fence because I don't think you should be too harsh on a person, but I'm more leaning toward the way that Sheena thinks, because at what age, do you become responsible? At what age do you say, okay, this not working for me? I need to do A, B, and C. You know, this is not the 60s where the man went to work, the lady stayed at home and baked pies. Um, I'm very traditional. I'm very non-traditional, but traditional in a lot of ways. You know. So with that being said, I think that for a man, for me, if one income is not working for my household, I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure that my household is good. I saw my grandfather. Like I can remember growing up in a house where my grandparents had. It was all of us there, all my cousins there. We never missed a meal. We never had any light shut off or anything. And I'm talking about strictly my grandparents. And we ate well and all of that stuff. And but I watched my grandfather, he was retired, but he had a garage service in the back. My grandmother didn't work, but she every day was she was going to the grocery store every day. And I'm at this place in this point in my life where, yeah, I'm where I'm at because of trial and error, right? And so, with that being said, I think you could give some leniency to people, but you got to come with something. I'm not taking care of nobody. I'm nobody's father. I can be your daddy, but I'm nobody's father.
Okay. Okay.
But you
Then.
like being called daddy.
I do. I could be your daddy, but I'm not your father. So when you come to the table, you got to come to the
I'm
table
messing
with
with you.
something. You know what I mean? Um, Let me ask you guys this: if you guys are in a committed relationship, how important, or do you think joint bank accounts, is that something that you against or for? Sheena, go ahead.
You said relationship, so
Yeah, like,
boyfriend.
yeah, boyfriend, girlfriend. Just if you in a relationship, if you boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, um, do you think that re, joint accounts is important if you guys are under the same roof?
No, I think you should be able to manage your money. I'm going to manage mine. Now, if we're married, we may have a joint account for bills with marriage, but I still would have a personal account, and I would want you to have one too. That's something that you need to be able to manage on your own. I don't want to joint because think about the fact of if you're in a relationship and you guys decide to break up, if one person go on that account and take everything, there's nothing that anybody can do about it.
Mhm.
You're just out of luck. So I would never consider joint bank accounts.
Mhm.
That ain't gonna happen.
Even if y'all guys are under one household. So how do
It
you?
doesn't matter.
Okay,
You need to be able to manage your money. I'm going to manage
Exactly.
mine. But as being significant others, no, I would never consider that. But that's just my opinion.
okay, okay. I'm with
People
you.
will surprise you. Like you think you know somebody, and then when money gets involved, they change on you. So I
Especially when
agree
they're
with Sheena.
hurt. Money get involved
Exactly.
and they're hurt. Oh, it's a
Hmm.
totally person you've never seen before. And
Hmm.
it's too late.
Shay, what's your perspective on it?
I'm on Sheena 100. Okay. I need to not say anything else. It's an exclamation mark at the end.
But why though? Why do you feel like that? So I know that you partnered or whatever. You don't think that? So you guys don't have a joint account, just so it. To me,
No,
a joint account would be a peace of mind that I know you
no,
pulling your part.
no. So how we do things is she'll either Zelle me or I'll Zelle her, or Cash App her. She'll Cash App me. Or as far as groceries go, she gets groceries, I gets groceries. It's like we kind of like, baby, what you want to eat tonight? Oh, I want steaks. Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the store and grab those tonight. Oh, I went grocery shopping. It's not a split like, okay, you get 50, I get 50. If I need laundry detergent, I'm gonna get laundry detergent. If she sees laundry detergent is low, she's gonna grab laundry detergent. It's just not a time where we just like, okay, well, we're gonna give 50 towards the laundry and we're gonna give 50 towards food. It's just we just buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys know anybody selling the ABT card? Because I'm tired of paying for this food.
When I say if I find somebody, we buying it first. Allegedly, okay. Don't quote me on it. I don't want to go to jail.
Well, listen, if you guys selling something, DM me, hit me up. I'll buy your ABT
They
card.
said people with kids get hundreds of dollars.
I know I'd be so mad. I be seeing these people in line and I work hard for my money and they just be throwing anything. The kids come throw 50 different things in the basket. They got crab legs. I'm like, oh, they got a little piece of money. And they pull out that little brown card. I'm like,
if I gotta be broke to get that food stamps, I'm good. I'll pay for it with my cash. Okay,
Oh, absolutely.
because I don't.
Yeah.
That's what I
All the
don't want to
time.
do.
Pick your struggle on that, ain't it?
Yes, when I tell you I'm good, I just pay with my cash.
right,
I don't
right.
want God to listen. I don't want food stamps that bad, Lord. And KJ don't either. I'm gonna stand in the need of prayer for you. Okay. That's not what he asking for, God.
No, it's not, Father.
Y'all too funny. I love it.
So, Gio, tell me, what's your perspective of a joint account? Only when you're dating, not married,
Dating, okay. That takes it down.
under the same household, though, under the same roof.
We're dating and we live together?
Yes.
Okay. Moving fast. All right. I believe that whoever's name is on the deed should get all of my money, so I just turn over my paycheck. I'm totally fucking with y'all.
I was going to say, hold on, wait a minute.
He was like,
I
hold
was
on.
gonna say, what's your phone number?
Right.
Period.
Come stay
You
with
gonna
me.
have two wives.
I got a room in the back. No. I definitely think that, like the girls have been saying, like you should have your own, account where you keep, your money, and then you have one that you guys contribute to each other, or if you do the Zelle, Cash App thing, that works too. But you should definitely always have a nest egg for yourself because shit happens. Like, you can never predict when something's going to end. When it happens, it just kind of happens like that. So you have to be able to get back on your feet because the wrong situation can fuck up your entire life. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a place to stay now, or maybe you don't have a car or whatever. That can really drag somebody down. So you got to be able to hop back on those 2 feet if shit goes left. So, and some things to consider about just finances with another partner. There's a few things that I kind of jotted down. Is that people have different spending habits. Like that's a big one. How people when they get their paycheck, how do they manage it? Do they pay themselves first or do they pay their bills? That's something that should be discussed before you even get into the account thing, just to kind of understand how they think. People have different levels of frugality. Like, do they want to get all their food from DoorDash, or do they prefer cooking at home to save money? Or are you that way and they're that way? They want to DoorDash, you want to cook at home to save money, and you guys can't meet in the middle about that. So there's things like that. What's spending, what's wasting? People have different perspectives on that. Also, different lifestyle differences. Some people are minimalist; they don't need a lot. Some people are very material; they need the latest fashion. Ivy Park, whatever. That's a personal thing. But what are their goals, financial goals? What do they think about retirement? What are their thoughts on retirement? Do they want to retire at 40 or they want to retire at 85? Those are things to discuss. And just coming from different socioeconomical backgrounds is another factor too. Did they grow up with money? Were they poor? All those things factor in. So it's good to kind of get into their head about how they feel about those kinds of topics, so you guys can be on the same page. So.
Okay, I respect that. For me, I'm gonna say I agree with the joint account. As you guys know, I'm very meticulous, very maniacal when it comes to, especially finances. Like, I've been in a place where I was living check to check. I would never want to go back into that place again. So I'm old school. I literally sit at the same desk and I write all my bills out, and I pay each bill as I write them out. Um, if I had someone staying with me, what I would do, I would pay all the bills myself, and then their part, that would be extra for me. I don't know. I don't ever want to be in a position where they jump ship and now I'm here and I can't afford. I always tell people when you go into a situation, make sure that you can afford the bills yourself, just in case that individual decide to jump ship or they doing, it's just unhealthy. You got to put somebody out. Make sure that you can pay your bills. But for me, I will most definitely do the joint account, and I would set it as, listen, you get your check. This is where it's got to go, and I would immediately, once that money come in, make sure that those funds get allocated to the appropriate bills. That's just the control freak in me. But at least I know when I come home, I don't have a pink slip on my door saying you got to move by the 12th. You know, that's just me. So I'm a little different when it comes to that. I think everybody has to pull their weight. Now, do I believe relationships are 50-50? I disagree with that. I do believe that you have to sit down. I think that's, like a case by case. If I make what I make and just say that you make 40, 50,000, I don't expect for you to pay what I can pay, because I make more. But I do expect for you to say, hey, put your money here, put your money there. But, I think in a relationship, there should be a team effort, and I think a lot of people forget about that. It's a team. Maybe you can't do this, but do something. You know what I mean? Make sure that you can do something. Do you guys believe in that whole 50-50? It's 50-50 in a relationship. Sheena, I can see your face. I already know you.
What?
I can,
Sorry.
I can see you. You believe
I'm
in that.
always first. What?
You believe in that 90-10, huh? You put 10%.
Yeah, 50-50, no.
What?
What?
No.
Why?
Just because I don't have an explanation.
Fellas, if you get
No.
with her, step your game up. Because she want 95.5.
No, don't say that, but 50-50, no. I feel like
Why?
you got to pay the mortgage if I'm here or not.
What if he
Really?
makes less than you?
Yeah.
Exactly. Good point,
Why
Joe.
would he do that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So let me ask you
Even
this.
if he make less than me, I don't know. That's a good question, but I don't like it.
There's
So
no
let me
second
ask,
date there.
Shay, do
I
you
don't
believe in a
like it.
50-50 relationship?
I do. I
So
do.
you believe in splitting things exactly evenly down the
I'm not gonna say everything because, like
okay.
I said, groceries and knickknack things that you need at the home. Um, you just get them when you get them. Typically, I date women who do not make as much as I make, so I always run into this wall where I'm here and they're kind of like there, and that's life. I'm okay with that. Um, 50-50 to me is with rent. Honestly, that's it. If we had a mortgage or rent, that's the only thing that I want to go 50-50 with, because you live there and I live here. So I feel like it's fair that we split that. Other than that, groceries and things like that, I'll typically probably buy more groceries than she does because I'm a cooker. But I never say, "Oh, I buy all the groceries and you don't." I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bother me. As long as you're contributing to our household, I really don't care how you contribute, as long as it's some type of contribution to it. I'm
Okay.
cool with that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me intervene for a minute. Now, you said that when it comes to rent, you believe in 50-50. So
Mhm.
is it fair if you making 100,000 and this person making 30,000, your rent is $2,000 a month, that they pay 1,000, you pay 1,000?
Yes.
Really? At that
They can't
salary?
afford it.
They can't afford it though.
That's the whole trick.
Well, I wouldn't get anything that they can't afford. That's another thing. So I wouldn't buy anything or get into something that they couldn't afford. So rent would probably be
But what if you
um
already live there, and you guys meet and relationship forms, and then they move in?
Good point.
You're comfortable living with the 2,000 because that's what you had before, but now it's new for them. How do you make that adjustment, or how do you
well,
like?
whatever they can afford to pay, in that situation, then we would compensate for that. I never want them to feel, and especially since I'm the feminine female in the relationship. I tend to date more dominant people. So I don't want them to feel like they have to come to ask me for money because they don't have any money. So we would try to compensate however we can. I'm really honestly big on negotiations. Negotiations is a big thing for me. I'm willing to work with what I got. I typically don't bite off more than what I can afford. I'm not going to get something I can't afford to pay by myself. So in the event I make 100,000 and they make 50,000, if they can pay 8 and I'll pay the 12, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And I won't feel any type of way about it. But if they're making enough to contribute the expectations that I've set in place, then by all means, I expect them to meet those expectations. Yeah.
Okay. Gio, what you think?
Just me, my personality, I don't like to get hung up on money, honestly. And if the situation is I make more than them, then I will probably pay more. I don't know what the percentage would be, but I would probably pay more. Let's just say it's a $2,000 mortgage, and they make the 30,000 or whatever. I would definitely make it so they can just contribute something, but I would probably be paying the majority of it, and that's fine because I don't want them to be stressed out from not having any money, or just I want them to have to live too and have a life and be able to buy some things for themselves that they would like to, and not resenting me for us being in a situation where they have to give all their money to rent. So we would work it out. I wouldn't make a big deal about it, especially if I'm making enough money to cover it on my own already. I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. I don't want to fight about that.
Okay, I kind of agree with that.
But you buying dinner, so yeah.
But listen, they might can't take you to Morton's though. You might have to
That's
do
fine.
Mike can do Chili's,
Might have to
or
do
We can do a
Lowe's.
Chili's.
Ruby
Hey,
Tuesdays, or Famous Dave's,
Shut
or
up, Kevin.
let's go. Look, we can
listen.
do a Big Mac.
Right. Have you guys ever been in those tit for tat relationships that feel like, okay, because they did this or you did this, then they have to do this? I know I have. I've been in relationships where, well, first I must say, I got this thing that if you do something for me, I have to do it back.
I know you do.
And I don't know
I
why.
like it.
I don't know why. It's just that I'm so independent that if somebody do something for me, I want to make sure that I return the favor, because I don't ever want somebody to say, "Well, I did this, or I did that, or I did this." It's just something about, okay, you got me you spent 500 on me. Let me up that and go 1,000. All right,
So
let me have a
competitive.
marching band outside the door. Let
So
me
competitive.
very competitive. But I never want to do, and I realize as I get older, it's hard for me to receive things because I realize I'm more of a giver. But people can actually take your giving for granted. They can use that, but I'm very vigilant when it comes to like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but also I'm gonna lean back and see what you're gonna do and stuff like that. So my question to you guys is, do you feel that, or have you guys ever been in a tit for tat relationship where you felt like you did more or they did more, or it was a more of a competitive thing versus, baby, this is what I did for you. You don't need it. I don't need anything back. Sheena, talk to me.
Not so much of a competitive nature, but I think sometimes we do kind of get caught up in feeling like we have to reciprocate, even if that's not the character of or the personality of the other person. You just feel like you've been this nice to me. I want to do something nice for you. So I can't say in a competitive nature, but it's just when you care about somebody, you always want to make sure that they have, or you want to make sure you're doing your part or doing what you can to help. So, it's expected.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Would you date a man that's making significantly lower than what you making, but he makes you feel happy?
Um,
What if
yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I would date him. Yeah.
there's not
What?
listen, would
Girl,
you
no.
What?
would you be in a relationship with a man that makes significantly lower than what you make, and he can't take you to the finest restaurants, but he can cook. He can probably take you to Chili's. Would you be okay with you being the breadwinner? Is the question.
I wouldn't. I
You
can't say
wouldn't.
that I would. I would be lying. No, I wouldn't.
Why is that?
Money is just such a it's an important thing. I
Okay.
mean, you got to pull your weight. It's one thing for you to make less money than me, but I mean, I mean, if you have a plan or something, then maybe it can be discussed. But for
I'm
the most
curious,
part, I
like,
can't say.
what does money mean to you? Like, as far as a man
Um,
having money, what does that signify for you? Like,
it's just important. It's important that you pull your weight as an individual.
but if he
Like,
like pays his bills, but he doesn't make a lot of money.
Right.
well, that wasn't the
Oh,
question
okay,
though.
okay. I
Look
was
at it.
expounding on that question, but
Yeah, no, that wasn't the question.
Y'all better leave Sheena alone.
I know. I do feel like they're like you
Shay, let
know
me.
ganging
Let,
up on me.
no, we just want to get a perspective from you. So, Shay, let me ask you the same question. How would you feel if your partner made significantly lower than what you're making? Do you feel used? Do you feel like they inadequate? How do you make them feel like, babe, you pulling your weight as well, even though you know they make significantly lower than you, and you know that they can't do the things that you can do?
Um, I don't have to make them feel any type of way. They automatically feel that way, whether I know how much they make or not.
Hmm.
As I said, because of the industry I'm in, I tend to make much more than the average person. I make pretty much practically what nurses make, and I'm not even in the industry. Um, I it's not a big deal. Money is so small in my relationships. That's the smallest thing that I spend my energy on because money can change. No matter how talented you are, no matter how educated you are, you can still be put in a place where you don't make good money. So I don't ever get caught up in, oh, I make the most money type thing because God can block every road for me just so that I'm humble, so he can humble me and say, hey, you know what? You educated, you have all this experience, you have all the knowledge, but I am going to block every single road that you can get in until you humble yourself. So money is probably the smallest thing. I don't care how much she makes. I just want her to be willing to learn, grow, and us work with whatever it is she has so that we can be the best or most authentic selves of ourselves. So I don't care about that.
Oh, so let me ask you this: can you be happy being broke?
I would never be broke. I don't think God would put me in a situation where I would be broke and I wouldn't base my life off of her income. So therefore I will always be comfortable because of the position that I put myself in,
Okay,
that I can afford whatever it is we have together with or without her. So I would never be put in a position to be broke.
sounds good. Jill, what about you? Could you date someone that make significantly lower than what you bring in? Is that an issue for you?
it could be an issue.
Okay.
Um, but what I'll say is, it really comes down to what are their goals? What's their roadmap for? You can be in a bad situation, but do you have a plan that you're working towards to get you out of it? And there's a difference between not having a plan and just kind of being content with struggling.
Or complacent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So if they have something in place and it's feasible, it makes sense, um, I might work with them and help them on that journey if it makes sense. But if they just are like, "Nah, I don't know, I mean, I'm gonna be at Burger King for life, manager's cool, like that might not work. So I might have to pass on that one.
I think
So
for me, it's been in the past, it's been an issue of I feel like men aren't the best versions of themselves unless they can take care of their woman. So, their self-esteem it's all kind of things that plays a part in not being able to pull your weight or not being, or not feeling suffice in a relationship financially. So that's been that's been my experience. So no, I don't. It's just just not a thing for me. I think you need to be able to, like you say, have some type of plan to know how you're going to be able to, make a better life for yourself, whether I'm around or not. Like what drives you? Yeah.
Okay. Um, that's a good question. Of course, I can date someone that makes less than I. I don't not sure about significantly less, but I think we can make it happen. We can go into it with a plan. I need to know how driven you are. That's important to me. But I'm a natural provider, so I think that can tend to actually be in the way. Now, back in my 20s, I was all about, hey, listen, what type of money they got? What's this? What's that? But now I realize I'm at a place where money is important, but it's not the end all be all. What's important to me is that you understand how to spend and the importance of how credit and everything works. I'm big on a plan. Like, long as you have a plan, I can personally get you there. Through my uh, road bumps that I've made to get to where I'm at, I can kind of steer you in a right direction. Like, okay, don't do this, don't do that. I can remember when I was in a financial rut. The worst thing a person can do is to get with a debt credit consolidation company. That messed me up. So I'm telling you guys now, if you're watching this stream, do not, do not participate in a debt consolidation program. They put me more in debt than when I was in debt. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
like,
sorry. That's terrible.
I'm like, you guys supposed to be here to help me, but you guys just put me further along in debt. Now I
So tell
gotta.
me why. How do you figure that out? What happened? Tell us what happened that made you identify that.
Okay, so this is how debt consolidation programs work.
Okay.
So they work like this. If you are current with your bills, they want you to immediately stop paying. So if you immediately stop paying, then your bills are behind. So their goal behind that is we can do a settlement. So if you 4, 5, 6 months behind, yeah, they can contact the creditors and say, okay, my client here can't pay this. He have a $5,000 bill. Are you willing to settle for 19,000 or $2,000?
Hmm.
Yes, they might can settle, but think about it. That's 5, 6 months behind on your credit. So your credit is getting like dragged through the mud. Even though yes, they might can come up with a settlement payment, but how many missed payments do I have to have for you can help me?
And
Yeah.
all of that
So
is going to read on your credit report.
that's how they help.
Yeah.
So that's how they work. You could be
Wow.
you can be current and be drowning, but the credit consolidation company is going to say immediately stop paying. Okay, so you stop paying 1 month. You're getting
Hmm.
these calls 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Now they're saying, listen, you've been late 5 times. Let me contact the creditors. And it's like, well, damn, okay. You guys probably can settle and pay this, but now my credit messed up. So I'm telling you, do not, do not go with a credit consolidation company. But again, before I filed bankruptcy, I did that just because bankruptcy was my last. But bankruptcy is not bad. Bankruptcy actually helped me save the money that I did have. But I've since learned from that. But if I can, drop a nugget to you guys, or if anybody watching, I think it'd be better for you in the long run to file bankruptcy than to go with the credit consolidation thing. But hopefully, you guys don't have to do either. So we talked about finances. What about credit? Because you can be the brokest person, but if you got good credit, you can have anything. What's your perspective on having good credit, Sheena?
I think it speaks. It speaks for you. That's who
Right.
you are. When you a lender, they don't know you. Your credit score is your character. That's who you are. So I think it's important to maintain that the best you can. And what I've learned over the years is communication is everything. Like even when you can't pay something on time, sometimes you can call and find out what the resources are that they have. They may be able to defer something for you, just where it doesn't show up that you didn't pay on time or, make your payment on time. So I think having a wealth of information is everything when it comes to credit, because the more you know, the better you can help yourself. So.
Wow, that's what's up. That was good. That was something good. Shay, what about you?
Credit's important, most definitely. Um, yeah, you can't get anything without credit, but you can't get anything without money. So they're equally as important.
Okay.
I'm not going to say one is more important than the other. I make great money. Unfortunately, I decided to make some bad decisions in my life, and I had great credit, which put me in a predicament where I got tons of credit cards that I was using and just using and using and using and using. And I realized that definitely was not the way to go. So I'm currently working on my credit, getting it back up to where it used to be. So you can have the great job, which I have, but it's a lot of things I can't get because I don't have the credit, So it's equally as important,
Okay.
When it comes to that. So it is what it is.
But it can be repaired. That's the great thing about it.
Right.
It can be
That's what I'm
repaired.
going through now. I'm going through the whole repair phase of life. I don't even, I honestly just got so lost in my credit cards. I really did. I just was using them. And I think I have like 10 major credit cards. So, and I don't have small balances. I got big balances. So
Keep your ass out the mall.
and you spend and you pay them, and they say, hey, we're gonna up it 5,000, and you pay them, and we're gonna up it another 5,000,
Right,
and next thing you know, you just swiping, and you realize you done maxed out $20,000 worth of credit, and it's just like, what the fuck, So that's where I'm at. The money is good, but credit is equally as important.
Well, don't worry about it. I'll help you get there. Whatever you do, don't go to a credit consolidation because you think you're drowning. I'm about to throw a life jacket out there to you.
That's one thing I didn't do.
Don't do it. Listen, Linda, listen. Jill, what about you?
Credit is important. Money is important. I have been focusing on my credit a lot over the past 2 years. And I've been getting things taken off, paying things, so my credit's in the best place it's been in a long time. I finally got it over that 700, so it was like great. And now I try not to use credit cards too much. I use my credit card to buy a new MacBook, and I'm like, let me just pay this off this month. Like, I don't even want that on there. So I'm very mindful of it now, more so than ever. Like, even if like I said, Credit Karma sends me an alert. I'm like, it went down 2 points. What happened? I'm investigating. So yeah, it's very important to pay attention to that stuff. But again, it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning about, being brought up and taught these things. And I wasn't taught about my credit. So I definitely made bad decisions, but now I'm so on it. So
yeah, I think we all have. We get that 7 years and you're back new again. Whatever you did,
Right.
That's the cool thing about being an American. So we get to restore these things.
Right. So since Gio got the good credit, can you co-sign for me audio or Cadillac or something? Can I put you down as a co-signer?
I got you.
And me and Sharon get our mics.
Right.
We got some.
Right.
Just kidding.
But like you guys said, credit is important. Money is important. Just knowing, in case you guys don't know, you can order a free credit report once a year. You can go to freecreditreport.com and you can pull and you can see what's on your credit report so you know what to repair. I've actually pulled it and found that it was inquiries on there that shouldn't be on there. So I think it's important to just stay on top of that. Credit is very important. It controls when you get your rate for a car or a mortgage, your APR. So credit is good. Credit is very essential to living and living well. But yeah, so I think this is the end of the show. Do you guys got any last comments or want to drop a nugget? Or Sheena, do you got anything to say?
I think earlier Shay said she said something like you have to keep your balance under 30%.
Yep, 30%. Yes.
Yeah, that's very important. Which means if you have $1,000 credit card, you never want to exceed 300, spending more than $300 on there, $333 on there, or whatever, 30%. Yeah, again, just keep in communication. If you can't pay it, let them know. You'll be surprised the amount of different resources that they may have for you. Just keep in communication with your lenders, with your creditors, and those things. And yeah, just try not to drown in getting approved for things.
Well,
Right. Okay.
Try not to. It's hard though, especially if it's something that you enjoy. Everybody loves to shop. It makes us all feel
hello.
Right. Shay, what can you drop us with? What's your last words this episode?
Don't judge a person off of their credit. You
Okay.
know, a lot of us have. I like I said, I'm a college graduate. I have a great, phenomenal job, and I just got in a situation where I got lost. I just was spending more than what I should have been spending, and it wasn't that I was spending outside of what I could afford. It was just I was spending, and I wasn't prioritizing and utilizing what I needed versus to what I wanted. So don't base a person off of their credit and judge them and miss the love of your life just because they don't have the credit scoring that you have or that you want. You know, if they're willing to be teachable and taught, you may have you a gold mine. So get to know people before you judge them, and definitely don't judge them off of their spending, because if that was the case, I'm guilty.
Gio, what can you leave us with?
I mean, they said it all. Really, just get to know people, have those discussions during that dating period. I think people wait too long to have those discussions when they're already kind of really, really attached to each other.
Right.
During that dating period, get to know them in that respect more than the physical things and the aesthetics and all that stuff. Like, who are you inside here? So,
Right.
have those conversations.
Right.
Simple as that.
That's what's up. I agree with everybody. I think finances is important in a relationship. However, there are things you can talk through. I believe that a person can come to the table with things, and it might be something you have to show them, but it's all about, do you have the patience to do that? Right. So, again, if you guys want to stay on top of your credit, please pull your credit report. It's free, freecreditreport.com. Just go through it, and if you are having some financial difficulties where you're just drowning, do not go through a credit consolidation program. Seek to file bankruptcy. I know there's a negative connotation as it relates to filing bankruptcy. Fortune 500 companies do it all the time. Millionaires do it all the time. It's nothing negative about that. You have to do what you have to do. But this concludes the end of the show. I want to thank my amazing, amazing co-host, my panel. Sheena, I greatly appreciate you. Shay, I appreciate you. And Gio, I appreciate you guys. For the watchers, Facebook and YouTube, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I am a new YouTuber, and I'm still growing the platform. So be sure to tell somebody, tell your mom, dad, tell your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever. Make sure that they subscribe and hit that notification button. Until next time, Merry Christmas, everybody. I love you, and take care.
Merry Christmas.
Hey. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Nice.